terms, and I'm like, yeah, interesting.
No, no.
Anyway,
I
go
like to
ahead.
have Bible authority for whatever
Mm-hmm.
I do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or whatever, however I'm addressed.
Yes.
And the most fitting term that I see really is minister, which is all of us are just ministers or servants
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of the
Mm-hmm.
gospel, preachers of the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, for me, I don't accept titles because it sort of elevates me above
Yes. Yes.
the others, which I would not want. We're all
Mm-hmm.
just fellow workers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, welcome to the show again, and thanks for taking up my offer. And like
Mm.
I told you during the phone call, although the Bible say, lay no and then a man suddenly you would know. And let me just bring my viewers up to date, because I always boast that I've been doing this show since 2006. And you, let me just tell persons who may be hearing your voice for the very first time, you can attest that it's not yesterday me start this. We're looking at a good, 12 years from '06 to now. And started on
Mm.
Satcom Cable in Port Antonio. And now, as most would know, I've migrated. And I'm like, well, since me sit down now, do not at night time, let me just continue. So instead of just Thursday night, we're on Monday through to Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So again, persons watch and call in and stuff from Port Antonio. So if somebody watching, they may can reckon. I say, yeah, man, the voice there, yeah, pastor, have the church there, and all of these things. So there are two things that I want us to talk about a little. One, the first is, like I mentioned to you, there's this guy. His name is Chosen. And what he did was, and if I play the song to you, it wouldn't even have the same effect like with most people, because the argument now is that what happened is, because people already know the secular song, him putting a gospel song to it, it is not right, because the song is too raunchy and whatever. And I'm like, if you take away, if you just get the lyric to the song, all it is talking about is giving praises to Jesus, and actually it name ball out Jesus' name, and there's
Mm.
this big spin to it. But let's take you back to years ago, when we have this young guy. He was going to Teachfield at the time, and he was one of the well, I shouldn't say one of the first, because I think it was after the whole Papa San and Stitchy kind of thing. But for Port Antonio, he was one of the main guys who say, listen, is dancehall gospel me I do and all of that. I know he was under your wing for a time. You mind talk to me at how that come across and how people took him and what you said to people back then?
Well, okay. At that time, and I still maintain that one can be very flexible with how they present the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and especially entertainers. There are some people that you can only reach in a particular way,
Mm-hmm.
which is not illegal.
Right.
You're not playing games. You're using singing as a form of evangelism, which is biblical.
Right.
When Paul and Silas were in prison, they prayed and sang until midnight, and
Mm-hmm.
the prisoners heard. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so singing is a form of evangelism, and you know, we are free. We are free to use this as a mode, and any music form can be used.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that would be offensive would be the lyrics.
Yes.
So if the lyrics is saying something that is unscriptural or
Mm-hmm.
unbiblical, then
Mm-hmm.
that's where you draw the line.
Right.
But if you're going to, I mean, when it comes to secular songs and converting them into um, religious songs,
Mm-hmm.
that has been done over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk to me, when you introduce the topic to me, I thought of the movie Sisters Act
Yes.
with Whoopi Goldberg and
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
they
They
were able to
revamped those
change.
popular songs that everybody knows saying other stuff, and she got a backlash from it. Thanks for reminding me of that movie. Me not even remember about it. Yeah,
Well, yes,
winning the competition and all of that,
yeah.
and the
And I
young
mean,
people enjoyed it too.
they did because they could identify with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no song that we sing. All the songs that we sing have some source.
Yes.
And sometimes we can be very hypocritical in how we accept one and we don't accept the other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I know people can make a big case. Oh man, you don't know the guys who wrote this song and the one that they're trying to,
Mm-hmm.
convert.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we can say the same for some of those very songs that we sing in our hymn.
Yes.
We don't
And
know the source
let me
of it.
hasten to this because, as you
Mm-hmm.
know, born and raised in the Salvation Army, my
Mm-hmm.
founder William Booth, that was one of his ministry. And he believes up to
Mm-hmm.
today, we believe that God did give him a special calling or whatever, because he used, and even to the day, if you go to the more established Salvation Army churches, you'll find out the brass band is a big part of the congregation. And when it come on to
Mm-hmm.
congregational singing, they so not into contemporary organs, piano, keyboard kind of thing, praise and worship, they do that. But once they say, okay, we're going to sing song whatever, hymn whatever, is the brass band leading it off with the trumpet and the trombones and all of these things, which even back then in England, it was morely military using the brass band as
Right.
a kind of thing, you know. And
Uh-huh.
also, they have a few songs that he wrote along with others, and some of them is bar song, them turn into thing there,
Yes.
bar songs
Yes.
where people, and the ministry was like this because they didn't have speakers and whatever on the street when they go and do what we used to call open air. That seems as if it died down. But what happened is with the
Mm-hmm.
trumpet blaring out, "Pa, ta, 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 ta,"
Mm-hmm.
and people hearing that trumpet from a distance, miles upon miles upon miles away, that will pull them to say, let me go find out what I want. And when they go
Yes.
know, then they hear the gospel, then they get the preaching.
Yes.
So it was a means
Yes.
to pull people to us to say, listen, we're doing something new, we're doing something radical. Because, like I said, at the time, the Salvation Army started out of the Methodist, and you had to go inside the building, inside the church, and the organs, and that was the way how they worship. Even now, I know I have
Mm-hmm.
certain some of those churches from back then, they just start implementing or putting in drums and little keyboard or whatever, because that was a part of the teaching to that. No, a devil music once you gotta use certain instrument, you know. So
No, 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 no.
yeah.
It can't be.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be. The devil don't make no
Thank
instrument.
you very much. Because I said that last
You know,
week. I said that last
yeah,
week.
again, it's just a matter of what you're teaching with the
Mm-hmm.
words, what type of
Mm-hmm.
lyrics. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because these days you might even have lyrics praising the devil, and that's what you try to guard against.
But but
What
but
are
but
you
but Pastor,
teaching?
I can tell you this. You see,
Mm,
especially because I from time to time they put out different documentary of staying stuff. I remember one in
mm,
the 90s used to tell about some songs, and they're like, if you play it in the reverse, you're actually
mm-hmm,
hearing worshiping Satan saying whatever. No, I can tell you this. It's past because everything is now being played on the radio, and I hear a song with
mm-hmm,
them explicitly. All the modern, the leading thing, they're telling you that they're giving themselves to the devil. You have songs where I say that
mm-hmm,
straight out in it. Say, sold my soul to the devil and whatever, 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 and all of these things. So it's
mm-hmm.
not no subliminal nothing anymore. It's
Oh
right
no,
out
no,
there
no,
in
no,
our
no, no, no.
faces, right out there. So I can't see
Right.
how, and especially Christians, because last week when we started, this whole thing blew up. Everybody, because that's the age where we're in now. Everybody can share them thing, and everybody a report, and I can just go to my page and do more and do and say more and say. And I think it is so irresponsible because people just attack. Even on the next topic that we're going to look at, I had to say to this lady, listen, she's like, she don't believe that Christians need to prove to any churchgoer or anybody, and I'm like, what you just said a while ago is so unbiblical, because if you're a Christian, your life, you're supposed to be showing that you're a Christian.
Mm,
So this thing to say, oh
mm-hmm.
no, you don't need to prove to nobody, and me no mean if you're going on ashes and whatever them call it, and salt, and then no, that is not, because Jesus tell about the scribe and the Pharisees and all of that. But what's the point? You're saying you're a Christian now, and it's not showing. Nobody can identify to say this is the difference. Which back to the music part of it now. I'm saying for persons like, if I play the song for you right now, it wouldn't mean nothing other than you hearing this brother singing Jesus name me a baller, because I'm sure you don't know the other version. And even the singer himself, his name is Chosen, he's saying that, listen, these music that are not saying and not edifying us in nowhere in our form, they're being played in our church, not in our church, in our schools, in our, and I'm going to go to the school in a minute, in our buses, public transportation, taxis, and all of that. And him says, sadly, in our homes, because you have parents who them a
Mm,
play all of the version, them and the pit them a hear it. So his thing was,
mm,
listen, I am creating a balance then. So when I have the negative, here is the positive. And I'm saying, I am appalled to know that Christians having a problem with this. The brother said, listen, may I turn something bad in a good. What would you say to that, Pastor?
well, he has a perfect right to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and it is something that we have been doing for
A very long time.
all of our history. Look at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
How did Christmas originate? It had pagan origin.
Pagan
I
origin,
mean,
exactly.
yes, I mean, almost all the holidays we celebrate now
And
had
you
some
have one
pagan.
that is a pet peeve for me. The main one is Valentine. I hear churches now having the special Valentine program, and I'm like, what? I can go with the Christmas and the Easter, but me I say, yeah, because growing up, them something they you'd never ever hear nobody talk about them something once you say Christianity, but now we have churches who, of course, they're tapping into the whole commercial part of it to say, well, let's do a concert or let's do some kind of dinner, let's do something to make money, which, you know, but yeah, so
Yeah, it's a different level, but
yes,
it,
it
it's just
is.
a matter that historically we have I don't know, sanitized or Christianized.
Christianized, that's the term.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use that term,
Mm-hmm.
Christianized some of these things,
Mm-hmm.
and it is totally okay because that's how things are. In the
Yes,
very days of the week,
yes,
we have
yes.
to would borrow some of these days, the names
Mm-hmm.
of these days from pagan mythology.
Or yep, yep, an
You know,
origin. Mm-hmm.
so we just can't deny that part of our heritage.
Yep. All
Uh,
right. So
mhm.
I did say 30 minutes. You're staying with us for the whole time because I realized I started late and it's done 10 o'clock already. So can I have you guys? We not even touch the other topic. So I guess it's two part. All right. Good. So I'm going to go to YouTube, which now you know everything is on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I am going to play a clip. And I was looking for it raw and unedited or whatever, but I found this nice newscast, which I think it's very, very, it got to the main points and it has stuff that
Mhm.
I want us to actually hear. So for those of you just joining me again, let me remind you, or let me tell you, for those of you already here, I can remind you that on phone with me is Pastor Edwards, and longtime friend. I know him as a solid Bible man, and to the fact, me I gotta say this, Pastor, he has some belief that I have, and one of them is this whole thing where church I preach about tithes and offering. The teaching is wrong. But that's not what we're discussing this evening. So a lot of times,
Mhm.
even back home, I used to ask him to be my guest and to share. And I don't know if you're gonna take offense, Pastor, but just like Gino Jennings, I think when you talk, you say Bible. So people now go comfortable with everything that you say, because if the Bible said, that's what me always hear you say. Even time I try to
Yeah,
draw
yeah,
you
yeah.
out for say, in your opinion, you're like, no, they man, I cannot we're from the Bible, because yes. So, and it's
Yeah.
funny that I mentioned that because I heard this discussion on a popular talk show, radio talk show, this evening, news kind of cast, and the host had two guests on, one representing the church, that is Pastor, as he said, he calls him, well, they call him Apostle Gina Jennings, and the other one, I don't remember which church she was from, but it was a female minister, and she was asking the other pastor to tell him where in the Bible him find whatever them are talk about jewelry not for wear and all of these things, and
Mhm.
quoted a verse, I think it's from Isaiah, don't quote me on that, and then she was like cutting him off and say, okay, and her rebuttal to that was to say that was like back in the day, that does not apply to us now and whatever. So the other pastor went to New Testament and quoted from Jesus saying stuff, and she just flip it, totally flip, and she's like, listen to me, I know I wouldn't be welcome in their church, because once I touch the door, them would have called me whore and prostitute and whatever too, because all of them something
Mhm.
where them a list out say nothing wear and nothing do, I do all of them. And that bring me to the point
Mhm.
to say, and I keep on saying these things on Facebook now, it is becoming more apparent, where everything that I grew up and hear that wrong. Now it seems as if there's a flip. Me actually post on Facebook the other day say, why the authority not just switch the meaning of the words? Because every single thing where we grew up and hear say wrong, it seems as is right. And then you have persons willing to champion these things and say, and then I made a comparison the other day too. Somebody pointed out and I borrowed from them. I don't know if you watched the royal wedding, Pastor, but
No, I didn't.
there wasn't
Mhm.
one female that the camera caught that wasn't wearing something on her head. Not one. The
Mhm.
next observation a church man when me know made is that, listen, him never seen no cleavage. No cleavage wasn't showing. No body parts, no
Mhm.
nothing other than, your hand and whatever. These females were properly adorned, in decent wearing clothes and all of these. And me I say, oh, So them can't go at the royal wedding looking the way where
Mm-hmm.
them themselves as the world, because entertainer celebrity were there, and them they dress decent, long, whatever and stuff. But me I say, look at it. They conform to this setting because it's the royal wedding. So me I say, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So men have no more talk and precedence over what God say and what the Bible say. Because I grew up even hearing something as braiding the hair is not supposed to be done. And you're not supposed to go in a church with your hair and cover as a woman. And me I say, a Bible them something they come from. Now me hear people I switch the whole thing and I say, listen, you can't live the Bible. I hear pastors supporting it to say you can't live the Bible, this and that. But anyways, I'm going to have to figure out a way to let you hear too. But I'm going to play the newscast now, because funny enough, I was told that this was the lead story on TVJ the other night. So for sure you're the extent of of this thing, because long and short of it, by now everybody know or should have known that what happened is there was a showdown with Pastor Gino Jennings and with what's his name? With
Mr.
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yes, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas. And what happened was at the end he got, ushered out. That's the term that the pastor used. So I'm going to use the same term that he said. Usher him out, take his microphone, usher him out, usher him out. So I'm going to try to get the clip now to play, and I see something I'm supposed to see, so bear with me, people.
Together ended abruptly as one of the participants was kicked. Welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to viewers on OneSpotMedia.com.
Up first this evening, a debate about how Christian women should put themselves together ended abruptly as one of the participants was kicked out of the auditorium.
The event, which happened yesterday, involved US-based pastor Gino Jennings and entertainer Mr. Vegas.
The pastor has been called a misogynist for his views, and the event, which was circulated on social media, has the nation talking.
TVJ's Janella Precious now reports on how it unfolded.
It's a debate which was being promoted as a biblical showdown. Dancehall artist Mr. Vegas versus controversial clergyman Pastor Gino Jennings, head of the US-based First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ. Pastor Jennings has been receiving public backlash for his views on women.
So-called Christian-looking whores, jumping in some church, flapping your ankle chains around, all on the choir, breasts hanging out, lips all red, nails painted red, purple, blue, green, long like bird claws, all this fake hair, breast implants, toenails painted with little fake diamonds in it. Your toes ain't richer. You're nothing but a prostitute.
This was a topic that was to be debated. The stage was set at the YMCA in St. Andrew. The event also streamed live on YouTube. Round 1.
And in case y'all don't know what and where face painting comes from, it comes from your ancestors. We brought it from Africa.
In his rebuttal, the pastor argued that his views have been misrepresented.
We were dealing with the way women look. It's a look. And the look of a whore include makeup. Now he says it doesn't.
I would like for the congregation to hear the clip, because you said you did not call the women whores.
Just a minute.
Okay.
That's not what I said.
Okay, so play the clip.
Just a minute.
Let's play the clip.
Let me say this to you. I don't know how you're used to conducting yourself, but long as you're in God house, you're going to conduct yourself orderly, even if you're not used to it.
Things got more heated in round 2.
You're going to answer the question.
Respectfully,
I'm dealing with makeup.
respectfully,
if
pastor.
you do something in vain,
Okay, let me answer you.
Let me
answer you. My mom wore nail polish.
I want Bible. I don't want
My
your mama.
mom, because you know what?
I want Bible.
Okay,
I don't
let
want
me
your
answer you.
mama.
Let me answer you.
The Bible's more
Let me answer
important
you.
than your mama.
I'm going to give you Bible.
I want Bible to justify makeup.
Do you realize what this man is saying? Okay, this man is saying the Bible is older than a woman. Is that what that's what you believe?
Wait a minute, I didn't understand.
Give yourself a round of applause if you believe the Bible is older than a woman.
Yes, it is. Let me prove it. Hit the Bible.
St. John chapter 1 and at verse 1.
Listen at St. John
Chapter 1. Verse 1.
and verse 1.
In the beginning was the Word.
Was your mama back there?
The other rounds which followed were just as heated, Mr. Vegas continuing to call for the recording. Then this happened.
This hypocrite knows that I got the Bible to defeat what he said about women. Play the tape.
Take a seat.
Play the tape.
Take a seat. All right, Vegas, take your seat.
He is lying.
Sit him down.
He is a liar.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Usher him out. Usher him out. Let this be a warning to every so-called Bible person in Jamaica. Whenever you challenge First Church, don't ever think that you will come in here and take over the church.
We tried to get a comment from both men. We were told Pastor Jennings left Jamaica earlier today. Mr. Vegas did not respond to our request. Janella Precious, TVJ News.
All right, so hold on. Pastor, you're still with us, right? You're still with us.
Yes, I was trying to find it on YouTube.
Okay.
Because I couldn't.
You couldn't
In fact,
hear.
it's just coming up on my TV now.
Okay. So I can recount basically what was said or what happened. So what happened is that it was supposed to be a debate. In fact, I heard, you would have known the name Carla Dunbar. I heard that
Carla Dunbar, Miss Dr. Six or whatever.
Yes, so right, Professor Six. So
Professor
it was as advertised that there was supposed to be a showdown because first and foremost, the clip that I think they played a part of it, and even that I have to edit because I'm realizing now people hear what they want to hear and people see at times what they want to see. And you have persons who are challenging me and telling me that no, he did say whatever. I showed them in writing a transcript from what the pastor say. They are Christian looking hoes who are doing all of these things. So Vegas went there to challenge him. And I heard that Professor Six, he sent our lawyer, sent out something to him because there wasn't no discussion. I watched another clip with Vegas saying that, no, I heard him today on the radio on RJR saying that he wasn't invited to any debate or whatever. It was actually advertised without his knowledge and whatever. Anyway, he went. So he was saying it wasn't supposed to be a debate, but then we found out, yes, it was supposed to be a debate. So, I mean, the jury is still out on that. Long and short of it is that Mr. Vegas went there and Gino was saying, whatever you're coming with, come to me with the Bible. So Vegas was saying that, listen, wearing of makeup or the painting of face, not wearing of makeup, the painting of face is actually an African culture, like, you know, African thing we inherited from Africa. So he was, Gino was saying, listen, I don't care. A matter of fact, I'm misrepresented because I did not say women are whores because they wear makeup or because they wear jewelry. And then I learned another part of it too, that, and I watched some other clips. I didn't find them for the program, but he was teaching or preaching in his church. And that is something else that I'm pointing out on Facebook to say, listen, just because we have phone now, everybody can see. This was for his congregation. And let me just read part of it because, like I said, I did save it. It was for his congregation and he was talking to his church. So he's saying that you have churches who they have these women and the choir. All right, this is it. Gino Jennings. In a controversial speech in a video making rounds on the social media, Jennings stated, quote, "You so-called Christians looking hoes, jumping in some churches, flopping your ankle chains around, on the choir, breasts hanging out, lips all red, nails painted red, purple, blue, green, long like a claw, all the fake hair, breast implants, toenails, painted little fake diamonds in it, your toes aren't richer. You're nothing but a prostitute. So you have persons who go as far as say that the part when I said that. But like I said, it was part of a bigger message, and I even said this to somebody again before I start the show that listen, people do this with the Bible all the time, and I know I can back me up on this. Money is the root of all evil. Is that what the Bible says, Pastor?
That is the love of money is the root of all
Thank you. But often we hear people say the love of money. So people take out what they want, and with the Bible itself, as me I said, to justify whatever people want to do, them take that from the Bible and say this the Bible say whatever. A lot of times they're even misquoting. So what Jennings is saying now is that he did not. That wasn't his intention, although it came across like that to say. Because I think one line to really touch some people is that him say, listen to me, Pastor, if your wife is wearing all of these things, you're married to a prostitute. So people take offense to it and all of these things. So the main part now, a lot of people are saying that they shouldn't have ushered, and that's the term I'm using, some people use kick, boot, whatever. They shouldn't have ushered him out of the church. Let me start with that, Pastor. If you even invite somebody to come to your church for whatever reason it is, because we know even community people may come and say, we just want to talk to you about this program that we have to introduce and all of these things. How would you deal with somebody coming into your church that you deem that okay, either they have said something or their behavior or whatever is not what your church represents? How would you handle that?
Well, I mean, it's first of all, they're not going to participate in worship because our worship is already organized with everybody doing their own thing, organized. But we do have cases where it may be a concert or a debate or a lectureship or some things that are not worship,
right?
And we. Somebody can represent themselves, and if you don't agree with them, I mean, you say you don't agree, but you are respectful,
right?
But you certainly don't usher them out. I mean, whatever you do, you have to do it very decently and orderly. That's how Christians are supposed to behave.
Yes, I hear that is part of what I hear a lot of people focusing on to say no, it was a bit, because what happened is, and later on maybe you'll see the video, Jennings actually called for his security, and I found out later on because Veasg was saying don't touch me, you're not the police, and based on what I saw is that one gentleman, which some people are saying Mr. Veasg himself has alluded that it was a gun. What I saw is the guy took out something resembling an ID, showed it to him. Veasg tried to hang on to it and he put it back in his pocket. So no gun was drawn in the church or anything like that. But they had security. They had securities there and pulling him out, and they brought him outside, and then he went outside, and I don't even want to get into that because he was calling the police, and even himself he was calling a nigger, which I'm like, really? And talking about Willie Lynch and all of them, something that has nothing to do with it. But I'm saying, and let me put it out there clear, I saw nothing wrong with it. And I think I would have handled the situation the same way, because I think Veasg was being, I don't even know what to say. He started calling the man a liar and a hypocrite and all of these things. I mean, I say, well, first and foremost, he actually they in a demand turf. A film turf you depend. So without going there, and what started the thing, as the newscast put it, and nobody else bringing that clip on live. Everybody else playing what they want to play. It started when Gino said that, listen, the Bible was before women or whatever it is. And Veasg was saying, no, my mama wear makeups and whatever. And Gino is like, I don't care about your mother. Tell me Bible. And then he made them read, I think it was for John or Genesis, whatever. But in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So Gino is saying the Word and was there before your mama. So you're telling me about your mama has no relevance to the argument. What I want you to do is say Bible. No, it was clear, and later on when you watch more of the video, you will see it was clear. If you just see the raw cut, it's clear that Veasg wasn't prepared for a Bible debate. Veasg, and this is how we got the invite, because after the video that I told you, that the first part about Christian looking women in church with them falls, whatever, and all of these things start getting rounds, Veasg was one of them who jumped on social media and gave his take on it. And that is how the whole thing come about, of him being invited to come and debate, to say, okay, let's start Bible then. So my thing is, Veasg wasn't prepared. And I don't know if you know, but he's a so-called Christian. From time to time, him say Christian, and then him, as the song you said, the same man was sing that song that we did quote. Yeah. I am blessed. Right. However, I remember, and today I posted on Facebook, that this man that is defending, so-called defending women so much, he has a song that was a hit song. She's a hoe. That's the title of the song. I don't know if you know that one day, but me know it.
I think I know that one.
All right. And it's talking
I think I
about
know it.
it's talking about a woman being promiscuous, sleeping with more than one man in one night and all of that. And him straight up say she not acting like
She's a hoe.
she is. So I'm taking a back now with all the support that Vegas is getting, because he's the one dude tell me on Facebook that, listen, Vegas was young then, him grew up now. So I'm like, okay, nice excuse, I can't take it, but I understand. So something else I realized too, Pastor, and I get a lot of whipping for it on Facebook, because I will share my opinion and I try to find facts. Sometimes I try to find Bible verse to support what I'm saying, because everybody know by now I'm born and raised in the church, and I find this resistant to it. Persons finding excuse, like, you know, saying, well, a different time we are living and now and all of these things. And may I say, so when I reach certain level with people, because they first would even draw verses, like even I think last week or stuff I dealt with it on Facebook, where may I say, you see, even this thing where people misquote again and say the Bible say you're not supposed to judge, I read otherwise. You're not supposed to judge wrongfully. And I'm telling people that we judge every single day. You judge people, you see somebody and you say, even if you go buy gas and you say, which of them cashier I forgot or whatever, it's a form of judging, because you're going to go to the person that you feel more comfortable with, or for whatever reason. You know, you're going a bus and you see people are playing and you can't choose whichever seat. You're judging to say, I don't like how that's somebody they look, whatever, blah, blah. All right, I feel more comfortable. So we judge every single day. So what the Bible says is you're not supposed to judge wrongfully. Right, righteous judgment. And I see nothing wrong with, and again, old time proverb, I grew up hearing, walk like a duck, quack like a duck. Is a duck. Is a duck. A song that I was playing before I started the show, this guy Peninsulan, he was singing him say, some girl I wear KFC slogan. And as you know, to Pastor, I have been doing videos and photos and all of these things. I go to funeral already, especially in the Adventist church, and see them actually tell females that, listen, sorry, you're down to read the scripture, but you can't. Or you're down to sing, take part in the program. But the way of them just alone, the pastor is like, no, I'm not having it in my church. No, the same people them draw for verses like rend your heart and you know them say render, but rent your heart and, not your, and not your garment, and come as you are. And I'm like, listen, I am sure if the same day that this showdown went down with Gino, Jennings and Vegas, if a prostitute then put it at that, walking off the road in her all of these things, and she come in and she said, listen, I'm compelled, I want to give my life to Jesus, make sure she wouldn't be criticized and she wouldn't be chased out of the church. She said, come out in your false eyelash and your whatever. But when you're going to go to a program, you're going either to a wedding or a funeral or whatever it is, and or just regular Sunday morning, and you're dressing this kind of way just like the world, how do we differentiate that? Or should there be a difference, or should it even matter, Pastor? Over to you.
Well, you know, it's really, because there has been conflict. Okay?
Hold on. I'm not hearing you. I don't know why.
You're not hearing me?
I'm hearing you now, but a while ago you sound like you were underwater. Go ahead.
Anyway, there has to be some standard of decency. And I know about the Adventist thing about, I mean, if you're not dressed appropriately, then they will not allow you to occupy their stage. And I agree with that. It's just that for them, what they consider to be appropriate, I mean, I don't know.
You think you're kind of overreaching?
Yes. Their standard might be a little bit more overreaching. But I do know, because I've been to some funeral where I see the ladies, if I should call them ladies, in transparent dresses.
Yes,
and you
actually
can see them
seeing
underwear.
through. Yep.
Yeah, you can see them underwear and so forth. And I mean, obviously, you would not want anybody like that to come on stage, because that's immodest. That draws attention to yourself, and you take a stand there. But I know that they take a stand for I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, if what they consider too tight, or I mean, so. But then you have to use some level of common sense, and some things actually stick out like a sore thumb, and there you draw the line. But I mean, for the most part, you accept people with what they have.
Yep. Yeah, you're so overreaching. And let me share. I'm not going to call the name of the church, but I used to go and play music at a certain church. And I remember one Sunday night because I realized to people use modest to say it need to be long. And I always tie this in when I'm talking about. I remember one night I was at Roof Club Gate and I saw this lady, and I mean I talk about maybe late 90s, campus early 2000, late 90s, and she was in something like a mesh knitted kind of something from the top of her head to where them would say the sole of her feet, long something. But pastor, no underwear, no bra, no nothing, and like I say, it was a see-through. You're seeing everything.
Yeah.
You saw every single thing, and I'm like, okay, so length does not necessarily determine modesty.
Oh, no.
And this story now me I tell about the church. I was playing guitar and praise and worship going on, and I had to move because of course you know the musicians are behind and then the singers in front. The leading vocalist singer person, she was in a them, I don't know if I can remember them, but I see a lot of church did kind of take on to them to some long skirt. They kind of look like a stretchy material whatever, but they're like closely fitted and them go straight down to your ankle, but them tight basically. And she was wearing one of the underwear that I think they call them thong or something like that. Everything was printing out, and every time when she'd bend over and stuff, no, to save myself not to sing that night, pastor, me I tell her music me the devil play, I had to move and go over the other side that I wasn't seeing her. And I'm like, this is what the Bible talk about. This is what Paul talk about when I say, you know, if you cast your brother for sin. Because dressing like that coming to the church, I'm sure she look at it and say, well, it is long, my legs or thighs aren't showing and all of these things, so nothing wrong with it, but the tightness of the thing. And I see my producer just read a comment, and I'm going to get in some of them now. Time goes so fast when you're doing a good show. Sometimes there at night time and I say 10 o'clock 10:30 can't come and get for done, but you see, feel like I don't have enough time now tonight. So Nikki says, if a married man wife wear makeup and nail polish and fake hair, she is a whore. That's a question. He's
Nonsense.
licking out on what about all the Christian overseas that wears pants to church? Is that okay? Those same pastors claim pants are men garments. I think a bit of ignorance in the teaching, because yes, we grew up that way, and I'm like, you have women design garments. And something I always say from a little bit in a pastor, may I say, all right, all of them gospel movie, church movie, whatever thing when me see with Jesus and all of these things, everybody look the same to me. In a them long thing, all them man them did look like a frack.
Right, that was the dress of the day.
Right. So me I say, when I hear a pastor say a woman if wear pants cause a man thing, that don't make no sense to me, because like I say, there are female design pants. So how can you look at a female design pants and thing? But however, same Jennings in his speech, he was saying that some of these women, they're in tight clothes that you're actually seeing their birth canal. Back to the printing out of me I say. So where do we find the balance then with modesty and you know the norm to say, well, we know, and something will make me always have a problem with. I don't like jacket and tie. Me I say y'all in a big summer when sun hot like what, you know, me there funerals already like 11 o'clock in the day, and me see people not over the pastor who preaching, other persons who just come to the funeral wiping sweat, and I'm like, maybe if you remove the jacket and the tie or cloak up yourself, you know, you wouldn't feel that bad, whatever. But how do we balance, or should there be a balance where, you know, modesty is concerned?
There has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. You can't go one end of the spectrum or the other end where you're naked, or the other one where you look like you're coming from North Pole in the heat of summer. I mean, you need to dress and be comfortable. But immodesty is when it's defined as too tight, too short, too transparent, or you're seen through. I mean, so you avoid those things. And once you can avoid that, I mean, there is some balance. But you can't just say, oh, if it's long, because as you just point out, it can be long and you can see.
And revealing, printing.
And some people will actually do that. Because some ladies, you know, they like to test.
Yes.
They're very provocative, and you know will have to know what you can manage. But like you, I would stay away from that, because I mean you don't want to commit sin
Exactly.
especially in the church.
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean,
All right, let me read some more
you don't want
comments, Pastor. So Nikki, my producer
Mm.
again, she's saying, I have never seen a Christian on choir with breasts hanging out. They always have cover-ups. Well, maybe that is. But let me say, like the thing has gone to a place now where everybody do what they want, and this is something that I see even the other day. One of my friend, she shared a photograph with her niece graduating from Titchfield. And the gown, and I'm saying this is it. Why you think most of the you think say it's just one and one and wear gown for just look or whatever? That conceal a lot. If you lift it up,
Yeah.
because a lot of time I see it, I go graduation to take photos and stuff, and these girls they can't wait to take off the gown because to take off the graduating gown because them dress where them have on is so. And this young lady, I think must have just reached 17 or whatever it is, and basically is one of those see-through kind of top wear is like a mesh thing. She wasn't wearing no bra or nothing, and I'm like, I don't know if I would feel comfortable with my 16-year-old dressing like that. Like, but
Certainly not.
again,
Certainly not.
this is what society is saying. This is so. Should we always keep on bending to say, okay, let's meet society then? Or that is what we're supposed to be doing, and how we. What is the message we should be saying again about modesty? Or we should just make it slide?
Well, one needs to. You should not dress so that you call attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anytime you start, people have to be turning their head to say,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's outside of the normal. Once you go outside of the normal and you draw attention to yourself, then you know that you're on the wrong footing.
Which I think this is why a lot of people find Jennings, and the thing is, why may I say no, they're so taken aback. Somebody on another post, I don't remember who it is, Mr. Linda or something like that. I think no, it was a female. She was saying, listen, we're a bunch of hypocrites because Gino now said nothing what she never hear in a church. Back in the days when preacher used to preach hell burning fire, and if you do this and do that, whatever, you got hell and all of these things, them something the people used to hear normal, like it never. But I realize now, like me I said, there been a water down or a dilution of the word. So now when somebody revamp and say it, because like I said, maybe it's because me don't have a problem with it, why I am seeing it on the other hand. But what Jennings is saying, listen, all of these things, and I keep on asking people, challenge me on Facebook, me say, listen, you ever see one prostitute on the road and have on makeup and jewelry and falls everything? Never. So why is it that the church should be following? Because as me I say, the same people who have a problem with the gentleman changing the secular song to gospel, these very people now are saying, no, people should be allowed to do what they want to do because I feed them body and I feed them whatever. Why is it that the church should be imitating the world to say, that, and I'm like, I see it a lot of times. You go in a building and you can't tell. Back in the day, you could have used say no process here and all of these things. Now you go into a church and you maybe have to be wondering. You see somebody come up and read a Bible and think, and you say to yourself, "Well, and that's my dear Christian." Like, I know that the clothes not save you, because I know that's going to be another part of the debate. People are going to say,
that's another thing. The
it's not
scripture
what you
actually
wear.
says that the kingdom is not about what you eat and drink and what you wear and those things. It's about your heart and the inner man, and which you were alluding to it earlier, rend your heart and not your intent. So the emphasis is not the outward appearance, like the jewelry and so forth. I mean, if people want to look good and so forth, nothing wrong at all with wearing their jewelry and so forth. What is the problem is when people become very excessive.
Excessive, right?
Yes. Anything that you do excessively, then that is where now you have done wrong or you're spin.
Because even to tie in with that, what you're saying, because the reading that I in the Bible, back in the day, that was what it was like. Prostitutes, they will have all of these jewelry. So when they're walking on the road, no man no miss them, because they might draw attention to themselves. That was the norm, all of the excessive, and I remember I went to one church and this lady, she had a big problem because she saw her husband upon ship and him buy her one chain. Fine little something when you barely can see. I had me with my blind eye. She did have to actually hold it up for me see it. She had brown complexion and all of that. And she said, listen, I'm not call her name because I'm not getting nobody in a trouble. But she said, pastor wife come to her and I tell her, I say, if she don't know, say she not for wearing a jewelry. And she said, listen, I'm a husband buy me that chain, yeah. I mean, nah, stop wear if it please nobody. Like I said, it was so fine, Pastor, where she had to hold it up for me actually see what she had say. It wasn't a big choppery, pendant hanging out and all of these things. So I agree that some people take the thing overboard sometime and think, but at the same time, may I say, it seems as if now the church is following the world and allowing the world to set the standards, and I have a problem with that.
Well, world, all of these things, it's not like someone says this is how it is, and then you start. Fashion is something that changes and it goes around.
True, and comes around.
It's a cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something deliberate. It's just just a given.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but back to so go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah. So the whole point is that one has to exercise some level of judgment, and what is wrong now is when somebody else become a judge over you or a god over you, saying, "Oh, don't wear that," or "You can wear that, you can't wear that, you can wear that, you can't." I mean, that is something that every individual should exercise their own judgment where that is concerned.
And your personal conviction.
And the Bible speak about opinions. You are at liberty. You can have your opinions when it comes to food, when it comes to certain days, which day you want to consider holy and so forth. The Bible is very clear about that you have a right to your opinion, and people should not be acting as a judge or an umpire over you with regards to that. All right? Yeah.
But you mentioned that, and what I realize, it only applied to certain people, because when I share my opinion on Facebook, people worship me wicked. And I'm like, and these are the people who tell me, say, no, everybody's entitled to their opinions. I'm like, so why are you telling me that everybody's entitled to their opinion and I can't squeeze mine, because once me mention it now, then everybody on my throat and killing me. But let me backtrack to the part.
No, you're entitled to my opinion. That's what they're saying.
Right. Thank you very much. You're entitled to my so my own account, only theirs. But a teaching that I learned, and maybe you can correct me, how that scripture came about rending your heart and not your garment, is that the custom was people wanted to prove a point, so they will go and rip their garment to say, I am bawling out to God, I am pouring out. And like Jesus, I say, or whoever said it, I say, yo, that don't really make no sense. You ripping up your clothes not do nothing, and your heart is supposed to actually pour out. But I think you have persons who they misquoted even that, or misinterpreted to say, okay, because the Bible says rend your heart and not your garment, I can dress anyway, or I can do anything, which I think is wrong.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. And nakedness is something that you keep in your house. All right? In your bathroom. Nakedness is not something that you parade in public.
Thank you.
All right? And in fact, the man that was naked in the Bible that walk around is because he had 1,000 every day.
He was demon possessed.
Demon possessed. Called legion. Walk around, live in the grave, walk around naked up all every day. And then when the Lord sent out the devils out of him, he was in his right mind, and he was fully clothed after that. That's in Mark chapter 5.
Right.
So what people do in terms of their dressing is a sign of mental illness. When they come out.
But Pastor, as you mentioned that, the mental illness thing, and you put it the best way. I can recall, you remember one time when Minnie, well, maybe it always, like culture, as they say, and norms and fashion come around. But this thing about Minnie, there was this obsession with Minnie. And but the places I see females in some short skirt. And they're stepping out of the vehicle, and you see them uncomfortable because the little piece of cloth not staying in place, so them have to be holding it down. And if them stand up for 10 minutes, every second they're pulling down. And I'm like, okay, to me, that means you're uncomfortable. If you have to be pulling down, dry down, you're uncomfortable. Same thing with your bra.
That means you dress wrong.
Thank you.
You dress wrong.
Thank you.
If you have to be using your band, your handband
to cover up on your rag or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that means you dress wrong from the start.
Thank you. I saw it even with tops too, and I think it was a year ago. And me share my views, and people cuss me off. The RJR had this Sportsman and Woman Award, and one of the artists, the track person star, let me not say her name. She was wearing this pantsuit, and the jacket, she had nothing under it, but it had this deep cut where her boobs supposed to be showing, or cleavage supposed to be showing. She and a male one, was like dancing or ramping or whatever, and there was a photograph snap with her hanging over, and you were seeing her breast. No. So may I say, and no, she was trying to hold the jacket together, and I'm like, again, that is a public display to say that dressing was wrong. If you have to be trying to amend it now, me use a law term, once you're on the road, that means you shouldn't have left your yard night in the first place.
Yeah, so those are the tips. Those are the tips. How comfortable are you? I mean, do you have to be stretching, straightening and adjusting and all of that? I mean, those are the rules that you follow.
Right.
But it's certainly not somebody's opinion that, like Gino Jennings, I think that it's out of his.
So you say personal conviction, then that's what we should work with.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But that is what I'm saying. No, but I think there is a detrimental thing. No, because the norms have changed. And like me, I say, check it out. Even in America, because I see my producer saying a lot about America. You will see a 15-year-old going to a whatever them call it, prom or whatever them class party, whatever and thing, and them actually dressing up, all the makeups, all the eyelash, all of these things. And I think a lot of Jamaicans get in trouble sometime when they come America, because after these girls put on all of these things, now them look like one big woman or look like a prostitute. Let's go to Gino. And then when you go hi and say hi to them now, then you hear say you're going to be charged for sexual harassment because this is a minor, this is a child. So I'm saying there are some things that we can learn from it. There are some takeaways, and personally, I wouldn't want, and my wife know that. Yes, she wear false ear, she wear wig, she wear makeup, she wear jewelry, she whatever. But I don't see hers to be excessive. She's not wearing a $500 US wig or a $800, and you know what I'm saying? And this excessive kind of, me have a problem with them someday. Because I've seen, even the other day I was working at this place, and this girl, every single day she come with at least a 2-inch long eyelash. And when I ask, I get to understand, so she must have a salon or whatever, so she basically advertising. And you can see a lot of times she's uncomfortable, like they just bopping away, and I'm like, them something they told me, just over. I mean, I know my place we go to, I go say, you look like. But I know this. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it. A lot of people, if you're into 2 minutes speak stuff, it speaks about your personality.
Yes. That means you have some insecurity issues.
Yes. So the best thing really is to go as natural as possible. But at the same time, if somebody wants to, beautify themselves, nothing is wrong if you have a scar in your face and you take something and you try to get out the scar, powder it or whatever. I mean, absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right. But I've seen too, and like you say, it depends. Because I see people, I don't know if you realize what's happening now, even in Jamaica. But I see even with the dead, they put on so much makeup on the people. Let me have to really look and I say, well, and are the same smiley? Like, a dark complexion person, and when you go at the funeral and looking at the casket, you say, no, because this person is so white out. And you say, no, man, none of the. But this whole fascination with makeup, I think, so you're not supposed to look different.
You can go overboard with anything.
Yeah, right. Which I think even the Bible said that too. Even if you overeat, you sin. So
all right.
Excessiveness, exactly. that is what we're talking about. All right, Pastor, anything you want to leave with us finally? Because it's actually 19 to 11. Anything you want to leave with us?
Oh, the time is up.
Yes,
no,
sir.
not really. It's just that in all things we must recognize that we have personal freedom and you shall know the truth shall set you free. And the grace of God has appeared to all of us, meaning that all of us experience the grace of God. So that should allow us some sort of freedom. So because of that now, all of us must exercise judgment and try to conform. When I say conform, is don't draw attention to yourself that you too naked, or on the other hand, in the middle of the sun, you look like some
You're
out of
from another planet.
another planet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to exercise some common sense, and
Mm-hmm.
well, that's really about it. Everybody needs to exercise personal judgment and have good common sense.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Pastor
Mm.
Edwards. And as you know, my
Come
thing
on.
going on. We'll call again. All right, boss.
Hey, well, no problem, no problem.
Thank you very much. So that's Pastor Edwards chatting with us this evening as my special guest. And I want to say thanks to those of you who join us. There are some few comments, so let me go through them. I read that one already. I have never seen a Christian on the choir. I read that too. Damien, two different things. The song said, if a woman sleeping with two men, she's a hoe. What the man say about Christian looking hoe? Okay. Yeah, somebody else pointed that out to me too and setting. But you see, again, I'm going off the premise. If Gino Jennings doesn't have the right to judge, why Vegas have the right to judge? That is how I see it. If I and you know me, I can go literal. If you're going to say people free for do what they want do, so the woman them want wear makeup or the woman them want just naked or the woman them want do whatever them free for do, then Gina Jennings have the right to say if a woman dressed like that, then she's, because basically I made simple say back in the days in the Bible, that is what they must say is whore dressed like them way is prostitute. These kind of false eyelash and the whole pad makeups and the whatever, that is what Gina say. So for Vegas, for a judge, for Vegas to say if a woman sleeps with two men in one night, she's a whore, he's also judging. If he just left the woman business alone, my take. Nikki says, heaven, haven't you seen, not heaven, haven't you seen pastors in Gina's country driving the latest Benz and the big chains around their neck? And I watch on TV, American Christians, people wear anything to church, short dress and jewelry, and them makeup and wigs. Me not hear him lick out on it in his country. Why come to Jamaica? Well, maybe I need to go to YouTube. Everything is on YouTube nowadays, and it's not yesterday. Me I follow Gino a long time from TVJ, and one thing about him, anywhere him go, I see him thing him preach. I'm sure if you go in a theme church in a Philadelphia, them something them a lick out pan you nah go see it. So it's not like him come to Jamaica with a message that, you know. And in fact, this is it. And this is why I tried to get the clip to play. That clip that causing all of this controversy, it was not said in Jamaica. That is why Vegas was saying play the clip. Because it's not in that service he said that Christians looking hoe in church. It wasn't. It was in his church in Philadelphia. He was preaching and saying that you shouldn't. And he said you have pastors who them can't come out and say, which may agree. You have some pastors where them wife do something and go on some way where them really not have no conviction for actually say what the Bible said, this is wrong and that wrong. Because first and foremost, they get have to consult with them wife. Or them just feel like them wife can chastise them if you say, yo, you can't believe. I think I saw a video like that, and this pastor was saying nothing was wrong with his wife, and his wife was showing all kind of breast and thing, and I don't remember which pastor it was with him, I don't want to tell a lie, but him said no. She dressed like one of them kind of woman there. You understand? I wouldn't want somebody to mistake my wife for a whore or a prostitute. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't. Me think, you know, that's an indictment. That just looked wrong. So yes, Nikki, it's not like him come to Jamaica and say that, because like me say again, that speech or that message or whatever, it's on YouTube. It wasn't in Jamaica he said it. So nobody wear wigs like American. They sell them make already. Just walk in and fix on. Hello Lana, how are you doing? Good night, brother DP. Blessing. Yeah. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in this evening. I enjoyed every bit of it, as you all know. It is a pleasure to be here. When I know already, me take the holidays them when the holidays them, and so when Jamaica holiday, I take holiday, and when America holiday, I take holiday. So yesterday was what was it again? Memorial, and of course I was out of town, and even if me did want to do my show, then flap me in the airport. It got to my page because of course me have to burn them out on that. thanks again. And this person actually highlight, which me didn't realize I want friend, and me decide to no, me wall her out. Me nah delete her, me nah block her neither, cause she just make a fool of herself. And yeah. So me have some people in my inbox. I said, why you people call me today? My phone a ring off straight. But Bridget, I have a person start sharing their experience with me, and I'm like, no, them TSA people are going like them are God. You know me? I say anything them say goes and all of these things, you know. So thanks again for logging on. Thanks again for tuning in. Yeah, them free me up, but me never did set up my camera, all of these things. So yeah, me never go figure to my page. But let me say thanks to Tristan for allowing me to utilize hers. Alright, peeps, one love, peace out.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah. No, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry. No. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moves to her own beat. She has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen your eyes. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes I know the king and queen crown, same time. So I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal.